Hello and welcome to the Postgraduate Careers Podcast Series. I'm Nick Burrows, a Senior Careers Consultant here at Alliance Manchester Business School, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Enrique Gaya, an alumnus from Class 2021 of the Full-time MBA. Enrique, welcome back to campus and thanks for joining us today.
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me. A pleasure.
Absolutely. It's been a little while, so nice to see you in person as opposed to online. And today, obviously, our session is going to be very much about you and your career journey. So as a starting point, could you just maybe give us a few key headlines from your career so far?
Yeah, sure. So, born and raised in the beautiful city of Sevilla in the south of Spain. I started my career with a bank in Switzerland, strategy with a monitor Deloitte, but very quickly I moved back to Spain. I started with the PwC for most of my career, actually, in financial audit. I did with which most of the consultants and auditors do. I started working for one of my clients. Didn't go really well. I didn't like it. Then the question was, what's next? And then I remember that I always had the dream of doing a good full-time MBA in the UK, especially. And I decided to chase that dream. And that's what took me to Manchester, and eventually after the MBA and COVID in the middle,
of course,
I landed what they call MBA lingo the triple jump, which was a new industry, a new role, and a new country. So I started working in business development in the tech industry in Amsterdam. The three of them, I absolutely love them. And then eventually I ended up creating and building my own business in something, again, quite different, but very fulfilling, which is career coaching.
Brilliant, thank you. So just in the midst of that, obviously a pivotal moment in your career would be that decision to undertake a full-time MBA. Yeah. So what would be really interesting is to hear from you around how you arrived at that decision and why specifically you chose to do that at Alliance Manchester Business School.
So as we were talking earlier, I was in a crossroad. So basically the option was to keep doing what I was doing already, so finance, consulting, auditing, all these kind of things, or actually chasing my dream, which again was a good full-time MBA. It was the road less traveled in a way. It was a risky one. I was already 32, 33 years old. I wasn't sure, but then I got very excited. I remember was yesterday going through the Financial Times ranking, visiting the Manchester school website with an amazing new building, the interview to Vicente Company, who just finished his global MBA.
Yeah.
I was getting so excited about the possibility of coming to Manchester. Top-notch MBA, top 50 in the world, top 5 in the UK, in an institution like the University of Manchester with 26 Nobel Prizes. It would be such a pleasure to be here. Now, next thing I knew, I was here with two suitcases full of dreams. A whole year ahead of me.
Fantastic, thank you. And well researched as well with your knowledge of the MBA, which you still retained as well, which is really impressive. So obviously this will probably come up in our conversation, but of course your class was hit with COVID in the midst of that. Yep. So without wanting to preempt your answer, could you please kind of talk us through if there was one particular key moment within the MBA experience itself, or what would be your biggest takeaway from the program?
So, of course, COVID was in the middle, but we stayed hopeful, and of course, in every cloud there's a silver lining. I decided to make the most of the MBA, and in my case, my approach was try to explore as many things, ideas, people as possible. It was super enriching, and still today, I bring all those things with me, and I think I will keep those things in the future. And to your question about one thing or maybe one moment that I take from my MBA, there was a venture capital competition, VCIC. I won the competition in the Manchester round. Then we went to the European finals. We were second only after Oxford. Still hurts, but it was such a fun experience. Not only I learned so much about entrepreneurship, venture capital, how all these things work, but I became really close with my peers, with my MBA cohort and my team, I had so much fun, and I still have the award in my bookshelf in Amsterdam. I'm so proud of that. Yeah, very good memories actually.
Fantastic. That's really good to hear. And I think, hearing about your experience, it was really interesting to hear you use the word fun there, because obviously the MBA, it's a demanding program. There's a lot of different priorities to juggle at times, from the academic to the careers activities, which we keep you guys busy with as well. But it is obviously pretty much a once in a lifetime opportunity to commit to a full-time program. And I think through speaking with yourself and other alumni as well, when they talk about that experience and the fun that they had on the program, as well as obviously what they learned and how they developed, that is something that we're always really pleased to hear. So that's lovely to share. Post MBA, obviously you've had a few significant movements beyond that, graduating in 2021. So I think from our perspective, it would be really lovely to hear about maybe how the MBA prepared you from that transition from employee to very recently an entrepreneur and business owner yourself.
So the MBA opens the door to, well, first of all, you get bombarded by ideas, new people, new possibilities, what look like a small world with limited possibility, then suddenly it opens up. And the world is huge, full of opportunities, is your oyster, which can be overwhelming also. I was very happy to choose a path that I believe it was more aligned with my values, my strengths, my interests, personality, all those things. And again, it stays with you. So the things that I learned, the contact that I made, they stay with me. In many ways, it made me choose the entrepreneurial path in my own journey. So actually, we were talking earlier, PCS, like really post-career service, really influenced my decisions and my interests about helping people, developing people, leadership. Those were topics that before the MBA, they were not even in my mind. And then I discovered that I really, really enjoyed it. I was good at it. It was very fulfilling. So then I said, why not? Maybe this is something that I should build.
Fantastic. And it's really interesting to hear how your career has pivoted in that way. I think there was a couple of things within your answer there. You spoke around your overall strategy, and I really like the way you refer to your values as well. That is something that we work a lot with the current cohort on an ongoing basis around what that overall strategy might look like, which sometimes starts very broad and then that might narrow throughout the program, but also how that can align with your own personal and professional values. Employers now, many of them have their own values too. So sometimes it's about finding that fit for the individual, which sometimes happens right away, or other people it might be a little bit more long term as well. So thank you for sharing. As a final question, I'd be really interested in hearing from you, knowing what you know now, having been through the MBA program, now as a business owner, if you could give one piece of advice to a prospective MBA student or a current MBA student, what would that be?
Well, so two things. So first of all, about Manchester, specifically, the Manchester Business School. It's an excellent choice. It's a great institution, and I'm very proud that I'm part of it. So I really recommend to come. Actually, my career would look completely different today if it wasn't because of Manchester, and I'm very thankful for it. Secondly, if I have like one piece of advice to a current MBA student that is starting today, it would be explore and be bold. You have ahead of you 1 year, 1.5 years to try new things, learn new things, meet new people, do experiment, have new conversations. So embrace it all, learn, try, make errors. So that's it.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you, Enrique, for giving up your time and sharing your story with us and those insights. And we hope to see you back on campus again very soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I love it here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.